funny. So we have now, thank you so much, Caitlin. We have now 3 speakers who are alumni of RMIT Activator's first incubator program, which is focused on circular tech. So they've gone through the program, they've excelled in the program and won some awards. Got basically recognized for what they did during the program as well and awarded funding. So you'll hear more about what they have achieved and how they formed and scoped and evolved their solution through that phase as well. So let me first invite Christian, who's the founder of Rebuilder. So Rebuilder is innovating on smarter retrofit strategies and bringing insights through digital twins for that. So I'll hand over to you, Christian.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mayuri. And just to confirm, I've got 3 minutes. Is that right?
You can get 5. That's fine.
Oh, 5. Brilliant. Gosh, all I do with extra time. So thanks everyone for joining today. Really excited to share our Rebuilder. I think Rebuilder really wouldn't be here without the support of the RMIT Activator programs. I've been through the incubator program and I'm currently in the pre-accelerator program, and they've just been absolutely critical for taking this idea from my head into a real life thing and progressing from there. So let me walk you through it. It's focused on residential property, and Australian houses have never been fit for purpose. So they account for 24% of the overall electricity use in Australia and more than 10% of the total carbon emissions. So this is mainly due to low quality housing stock built, to European standards from 100 years ago, with most of the houses in Australia with a energy rating under 3 stars based on the Green Star scale. And that was due to just essentially power being cheap and people not having to emphasize strong design, given there wasn't such a huge financial penalty. The poor housing stock in Australia is only getting worse as we experience more extreme climate change and extreme weather events. So from an institutional perspective, there's increasing portfolio risk for asset underwriters. So that's the mortgage lenders, the insurance companies who own essentially millions of properties across Australia and globally. And there's limited action to address the housing risk exposure. So some regions of Australia are particularly highly exposed, whether it be fire, flood, or landslide, and it can make some of those homes uninsurable. There's a lot of work currently being done in this space, and in Australia alone, there are over 10 million households. So they think that the estimated market size is $80 to $100 billion for retrofit electrification and energy efficiency upgrades by 2030. So that's just the Australian standard, Australian size of the market. So we're thinking global opportunities as well. So you can just imagine how significant that is. So what is Rebuilder? It's a digital twin platform. So that's the core product, and it transforms residential homes into intelligent digital replicas using the camera on your phone and an application that we're hoping to build to enable emissions modeling, asset valuation, which is really important from a commercial perspective, and climate risk assessment. So from a homeowner perspective, you'll be able to scan your home using your phone, it'll produce a sustainability dashboard, and you'll be able to essentially test different scenarios or different investments or decisions you could make to gamify and improve the cost of running your home, its environmental impact, and its comfort as well. It'll include things like return on investment projections and really practical things like bin night reminders with localized alerts that support you putting out the right bin at the right time and not contaminating various waste streams. And really importantly, our primary clients are commercial or institutional groups, so portfolio level dashboards and risk assessment tools. It'll help with the financed emissions and scope 3 reporting data, and then also rental valuation intelligence for property portfolios. So we think that this tool will be absolutely critical for decarbonising the housing sector and also unlocking some commercial value for industry stakeholders. So our clients are just these 3 groups. So we call it business to consumer, business to business, and business to consumer. We're really attacking this problem from all angles. So for B2B2C, that's institutions, so banks, insurers, utility companies as well, and government bodies. And they're essentially groups of customers whose customers would benefit from using this tool. We have business to consumer. So that's institutions that are focused just on the commercial side of things. So we think that when we build this brilliant technology, you'll be able to, if you've ever had a rental assessment where someone's driven out to your house and walked around your home or your apartment and had a look around for different issues, we think that this tool could be used just to do that. With all the sustainability things aside, we think it could help for housing valuations as well. And would really provide value to the people live, the residents in the property or the owners. And there's a B2C component as well, so for homeowners and residents who can benefit from this tool by, saving money on their bill, adding to their house value, and also living in a more comfortable home. I think this might be the final slide. I know one to go, but this is where we're at the moment. So we've done the initial design, brand, and MVP validation through the incubator program, and we've relaunched. We're currently in the relaunch pre-accelerator program, building a low fidelity prototype. We're about to do a big rebrand. We've got a technology roadmap, some early partnership discussions, and a few other developments there as well. And then through this program, we're hoping to really get into the tech building component and start to do the go-to-market strategy as well. So you can see there's quite a journey ahead of us, but we've made a really good start, but lots to do. And finally, for our go-to-market strategy, we're really focused on, whilst this is a really big tool, we want to make sure that users are getting value immediately. So we're really focused on bringing those features to market early and gaining business to consumer traction through digital channels. Maybe it's partnerships with local councils and utilities, anyone who's a stakeholder in improving the quality of these domestic buildings, and then integrating with grant and rebate programs too. Finally, B2B is our primary market. So we're going to look at partnering really closely with institutions and hopefully leveraging those institutions as a sales channel to help build users across those markets as well. Again, big ambitions and a big build, but lots of exciting things ahead. So as we go through the rebrand, I've got a new name, I'll have a new website by next week, and you'll be welcome to express any interest you have in the tool, whether it's as a user or if you know someone that would be interested, but you can see my contact details below. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's excellent, Christian. I mean, in startups, you said, think big and start small, and that's all what we do. And thank you for that presentation, Christian. We have Michelle, the proud founder of All Baby. So All Baby is an e-commerce platform giving baby products a second life. So over to you, Michelle, to talk all about All Baby.
Yeah, can you guys see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Hi, I'm Michelle from All Baby. So it's actually an online marketplace for pre-loved baby items to buy, sell, and earn rewards of pre-loved baby items. So I'm gonna touch a little bit more on the softer angle of how I started this startup. So I had this idea during COVID lockdown when I have a little one. She was born in COVID, and I have amassed like heaps of baby clothing, some from friends, some from my own purchases, as well as some from pass-me-downs. So what I've realized is that average baby items only last about 8 months, and we are an online marketplace for pre-loved baby items, products, and furniture. And why is this problem crucial right now? It's because a lot of moms, single moms, single parent households who are looking out for pre-loved baby items and who can't get access to these pre-loved baby items. Maybe they could be outside of Melbourne CBD, they're in regional areas, and we want to help them to obtain these products by selling these products to them. And also for moms, the benefit of our marketplace is that the same buyer that we acquire could also be a seller. So it's not like Uber marketplace whereby you've got to acquire like the taxi drivers and then you got to acquire the customers. So our benefit of our marketplace is that the buyer can be a seller and the seller can be a buyer as well. So the loop is pretty good in that sense. So our mission is to make social e-commerce of baby items easy and enjoyable for parents. Target audience will be primarily moms aged 25 to 45 living in Australia, targeting right now in Melbourne as well as eastern suburbs of Sydney. We have 3 value propositions whereby we have an integrated platform whereby we offer shipping as well as payment solutions. So you can pay via credit card, whereas the current marketplace on Facebook, you can't actually pay via credit card. And for the current marketplace on Facebook is such that one has to like message the seller and also arrange for a pickup time. It's very tedious. There's lots of haggling that's ongoing. We have actually embedded a user verification software that is into our platform, and it actually matches the seller details such as name, address, as well as to make it more secure. That's actually reduced the scam. As well as for rewards and loyalty program, we plan to roll this out in phase 2, whereby a buyer can actually earn $1 for every $1 that the person spent. They can earn 1 point, and the 100 points can be redeemed towards it could be towards points, and they could get like a promo code which they can then be donated. I'm going to take you through on how the product exists and how it actually a typical user flow. So Samantha is a buyer. She's looking for a cheaper pram. She sees a pram, add to cart, orders fulfilled, and then she waits for order fulfillment by the seller. So Sharon is the seller, and she wants to sell a pram. The pram is displayed on our online store. Item gets sold, and we get a 20% seller commission. The seller, in this case, is Sharon. She gets paid after 3 to 5 working days. And as for the rewards, as I mentioned earlier, $1 is actually equals to 1 point, and 100 points actually equals to $10 promo code. Or the $10 can then be donated to charity for single moms, as well as we could collect unsold inventory and forward it to single mom and single women charity homes, or we could work together with Catchstar Recovery Centers. Yeah. So I just want to share a little bit about my entrepreneurship journey, in the sense that there's always, as an entrepreneur, we have lots of ideas. Sometimes we don't know which idea to focus on. Main thing is just pick one idea that you resonate or you have an intuition that it might work in the marketplace. Pick one idea and execute it. Do A/B testing instead of letting the ideas just sit in your head. The first step could be joining an incubator or a pre-accelerator program, depending on where your journey at. For me, we're hybrid between market entry as well as product roadmap right now. So the pre-accelerator fits very perfectly towards where my startup wants to go. And being surrounded by an amazing team of coaches, of people who deliver the growth sessions, like partners like Anvarta, RMIT Activator, as well as sometimes we have conversations with Launch Week, and even the financial consultant that we have on board with the pre-accelerator program is tremendous value to every startup. And accountability is the one that makes us stay focused on the entrepreneurship journey. That makes me that actually sums up my presentation today. And if you'd like to connect with me over LinkedIn or check out our website, it's on https://allbaby.com.au.
Amazing. Thanks, Michelle. Before I invite Flynn, let me put a bit of perspective into the two solutions in terms of circular tech. So what Christian had was a rebuilder helps. What I'm trying to say is how it kind of contributes to circular tech. Christian solution, the rebuilder solution, is basically helping with optimizing retrofit strategies. So you kind of can select the best pathways for decarbonization as well as for achieving goals of a circular economy. The All Baby platform is a sharing platform, which again optimizes sharing of resources. So circular tech could be hardware, software, both. And who we have next is Flynn, who's the founder of Fourth Spore. So Fourth Spore solution compared to Rebuilder and All Baby is a hardware solution, or rather involves a tangible product. And it's Fourth Spore is a bio-innovation company, and probably Flynn would talk about mycelium and some of its amazing characteristics and how he uses it as a mushroom-based packaging product. So over to you, Flynn.
Yeah, I'm a little bit different. There we go. Is that working?
Yes, it is.
Yep, cool. Yeah, so I'm Flynn Williams. I'm a product design engineer focusing on biomaterials, and I founded Fourth Spore, which is a bio-innovation company looking at the ways we can use mycelium to mitigate our effect on the planet, basically. So the cool thing about mycelium is that you can kind of tackle more than one problem. So for us, we're looking at organic waste, namely low-grade wool. A lot of that kind of ends up in landfill because it's very coarse. There's not a lot of uses for it at the moment, and there's a massive oversupply. And then on the other end is looking at plastic packaging. It's a really good alternative for plastic packaging and getting rid of all of that. There's just so much plastic. It's a nightmare. And then the other cool thing is the biodegradability of mycelium. We have the opportunity to do a little bit more good and looking at native wildlife, and there's some stuff about high predation levels after fire. So what is mycelium? A few of you have probably heard that term by now, is that it's basically the root structure of mushrooms. The way I like to think about it is where trees have apples, mycelium has mushrooms. It's the main body of the organism. And it's made up of these thousands and thousands of tiny threads called hyphae. And what we can do is take organic waste such as low-grade wool or agricultural waste and grow it through there. And all those tiny little threads kind of bind it all together as like a biological glue. And we end up with this really cool material that's lightweight, strong, fire resistant, and biodegradable. So we've got all sorts of different applications we can have for that. And one of them is alternative plastic packaging, such as polystyrene foam and others. But the one we're kind of focusing on at Fourth Spore at the moment is when people think about fire and native animals, they think, oh, the fire is the biggest issue. But as it turns out, all the native animals have kind of had millions of years to grow up with fire, as it were. So they have all these coping strategies to get away from the fires. So it's not actually the biggest threat. The biggest threat is what we've done, which is introduce cats and foxes to the ecosystem. And so what happens is when a fire sweeps through a area, it takes out all the underbrush and coverage that the native animals need to hide from those cats and foxes. And actually, cats have learned to smell when a fire happens, and they all basically swarm an area. It's kind of terrifying. And so when all the native animals come back or emerge from hiding, they just get picked off. So that's where our solution, our first product, Hypertect, comes in. It's a modular tunnel shelter system made out of low-grade wool waste, brewery waste, and mycelium. And it leans into those properties that mycelium's useful for. It's biodegradable, it's fire resistant. So the idea is that we deploy it in an at-risk area where we know there's an established population of natives. And then if a fire happens, the shelter survives and the animals have somewhere to hide from cats and foxes when they come back to the area. If a fire doesn't happen, no problem. It just biodegrades away, basically. Yeah, so that's kind of my thing.
Awesome. Thank you, Flynn. One of the wonderful things about mycelium is that it's a biological 3D printer. You can grow it the way you can grow it to take a shape that you want. So it's an amazing product, amazing material for a circular economy.